Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. See a lot of people coming in right now. We will get started in about 2 minutes. Hello, Alan. Good to see you again. Ooh, in Silicon Valley. It's great to see all the different locations here. And I know I saw Raleigh, North Carolina in there. Jeff, I think I saw you on. I hope you're doing well. In the Philippines. This is great. Thank you all for being here. We will get started shortly. Rodney, I agree with you. Rainy greetings. It's rainy here in Chicago too. So hopefully others have some better weather than the Midwest today. All right, we are going to get started here shortly. What I'd like to do, I know we still have a lot of people joining. I'd like to just quickly do some housekeeping items, making sure everybody understands the flow for today and what you'll be viewing. First things first, my name is Ann Sari. I'm the Executive Director of the Converged User Group. So welcome, we're very excited to have you all here today. In case you're not familiar with the Converged User Group, our main goal is to bring together members who are using or exploring Dell CI and HCI technologies. So today's event is very excited because you're going to get a front row seat into the VR event that's going to be live streamed through Zoom. So Shelly's on the line and she will be kind of our camera person during the event that's going to be taking us around, and we're going to have some one-on-one interviews and some great programming for you ahead. So the Converge User Group, we host a variety of events through the year, mostly during industry conferences. We do some monthly community hour topics and programs like our current professional development series, which is actually happening next Thursday. So we'll make sure to share information with everybody on that series. So as I mentioned during today's programming, we're going to be live streaming from AltSpace VR. So you're going to get an up-close view at this world. The participants in VR are going to be using Oculus Quest 2 headsets. So you'll get to see them moving around, talking. And also everybody here who's on the Zoom, you're going to be in a drawing to win an Oculus Quest 2 headset. We're giving away 2 headsets today. So everybody here on the Zoom will be in the drawing for that. And the speakers will announce that during the event. So you do have to be present on the Zoom to win. Today's program features Maurizio Divini from the University of Pisa, all the way from Italy, along with experts from NVIDIA and Dell Technologies. They'll be sharing updates. After the program, you'll have an opportunity to explore the VR space. Shelly with Link to VR is going to walk everybody through, introduce you to Josh Abrams with Dell Technologies, and we'll have our own roaming reporter within the environment. So as I mentioned, everyone here will be in a drawing to win an Oculus Quest 2 headset today. And since we do have a lot of guests, I would ask that everybody use the Q&A tool for any questions, because if you do have questions for today's speakers, we can help make sure to get those questions answered, since we have our very own roving reporter. But if anyone has questions, feel free to put those in the chat or in the Q&A tool. I will be happy to help. And also Shelly with the Link to VR team is here as well. All right, so I know they are getting set up in AltSpace, and soon we will be able to see through Shelly's screen, kind of a view of the AltSpace environment. So Shelly, how are things looking in VR? And I'm guessing that means they are still setting up. So there were, just to give everybody some background, we had about 55 people who were participating in VR that I saw in a Zoom this morning. And then they were transitioning them over to AltSpace VR. So once the speakers are on stage and the program's ready to begin, we will start broadcasting. Hey, Shelley, are you able to hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Wonderful. If you wanted to start broadcasting, if we're ready, you can share your screen.
Okay, perfect.
So Shelley's going to take us into the environment and you'll be able to see AltSpace VR and the program will begin shortly from the stage. And after the program wraps, we'll circle back with everybody and take questions and we'll have some one-on-one conversations with the speakers. So here we go. Shelley, I'll let you take it from here.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Anne. Right, so I'm going to go find Josh, our roaming reporter.
And while Shelley's finding Josh, I'll just say this is the kind of lounge area. And you'll see here, we have Jeremy Golder with Dell Technologies who just walked by. So we'll be able to connect with some people. They won't be able to hear us since we're on Zoom, but Shelley will help relay any questions from the team.
So Jeremy has just gone to go find Josh for us right now.
Right. Yes, lots of missing legs here, you'll see. All right, we can see Josh, but we don't hear him yet, just to make sure, Shelley, you're aware.
I guess. We're going to be getting started in Auditorium East. What's that? I didn't hear what you said last. Okay, how are you? Can you hear me okay?
Shelley, we can hear Josh, but we don't hear you.
You might be. Oh, good. I'm sure you're going to be good. How are you? Good. Quite an experience. Oh, good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Did you join the?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Converged VR Lounge.
Okay, so
Auditorium East. My name is David Giesica, and I am with the Converged User Group. Thank you all for joining us. As a reminder, we are live streaming this VR experience to Zoom so that folks who don't have headsets or didn't make the capacity can also see and learn and really enjoy with us. That said, earlier I called out Mark was the cameraman. That is not true. Shelley right here in the front with Josh, and Josh has the red hoodie, and Shelley is all in white with the red hat. Shelley is representing the camera. She represents a view into the Zoom. So she's down there. Josh is over here, roving reporters. We're going to start a great program. What we want to do is give you updates as to what you heard on the announcement between VxRail and NVIDIA this week. So we've got a great panel who I'll bring up shortly. Ash McCarty from Dell Technologies, John Finelli from NVIDIA, and an incredible customer, Maurizio Davini from the University of Pisa. We'll have a great conversation. What we're going to do is prime the pump for better conversations which really take advantage of VR. What does that mean? try to make this short. We'll give you a lot of things to think about and maybe want to come up and ask these experts about later. Before we get started, because this is a Converged User Group event, I'd like to bring up Matt Wakefield, the Vice President of the Converged User Group, for a few words. Matt, thank you very much. Thanks for attending. The stage is yours.
Thanks, David. First, hey, thanks and welcome everybody to our CONVERGED VR Lounge. We all would love to get back to in-person events, but hopefully this gives you a little bit of a substitute for that. We think it's a great way to experience a sense of community, and we've been having some great events. We'll be looking to do more. So sit back, enjoy our speakers, and thanks for coming, everyone. David?
Thanks, Matt. That's awesome. All right. So Matt is either going to go back to the green room or he's going to eat a buffet of food that you guys virtually can't taste, or he's going to jump back out into the audience. I'm going to scoot over to my chair, which I can kind of do magically here. There we go. And I'd love to bring the speakers on stage. Matt, you're almost off stage, so you might still be on broadcast. Folks, come on up. As I mentioned earlier, let's see here. We can also advance the slide. I forgot to tell people about that. I think I have a slide behind here. I've got Ash McCarty from Dell Technologies, John Finelli from NVIDIA, and Maurizio Davini from the University of Pisa. Welcome, guys. We are going to actually sit down and have a, quote, fireside chat in VR. This requires us to line up with the physical world. So we're going to do this carefully. We don't want to see anybody fall over. Awesome, John. Well done. You're really you've taken to this. Ash, how you doing?
Great.
All right. Conceal, you're looking a little bit higher than everybody else. Have you sat down yet?
Yeah.
All right. Well, do me a favor. Stand up.
He's in a bar stool.
Oh, you got a bar stool? Oh boy. All right. Well, you'll just float there. That's fantastic. We got this done. Gentlemen, welcome and thank you very much. We are at a Thursday of VMworld. I love VMworld. I love VMworlds virtually, but I much prefer them in person because they're always a giant event. We get to see a ton of folks. We do an incredible Converged User Group meeting. We're not there this year. This is what we're trying to bring, as Matt mentioned. I think this is going to be fantastic. Saw a lot of stuff, but specifically, Ash, can you tell us what's going on with the VxRail and NVIDIA announcement? What did we hear about? What investors need to know about? And how does that impact folks?
Thanks, David. Can everyone hear me okay?
I gotcha.
Excellent.
Let's get some, can we get emojis so that Ash knows we can hear him?
All right.
Awesome. Thank you very much, folks.
All right. Well, we are incredibly excited to share how partnership between NVIDIA and Dell Technologies for AI workloads in the data center. I reflect on my journey with VxRail over the past 5.5 years and really just how much VxRail has grown and evolved. I really can't help but gush about the accomplishments like a proud parent.
Yes.
It's truly been an unbelievable year for VxRail as we continue to achieve clear market leadership in HCI and are aggressively expanding into adjacent use cases and workloads. Many of you probably already have VxRail with NVIDIA GPUs currently managing your VDI workloads. We have continued to see tremendous adoption with that use case, especially as businesses have transitioned to supporting growing remote workforce. Sure, while VxRail has always been on the leading edge of innovation in supporting existing AI ML use cases, now Dell Technologies, VMware, and NVIDIA have jointly collaborated to make it even easier to deploy, manage, and scale AI workloads. The launch of the NVIDIA AI Enterprise Software Suite running on vSphere. So, I get it, you're constantly being bombarded with a ton of information, and especially with VMworld this week and a ton of new information there. But if there were 3 key takeaways I want you to leave here today with for VxRail, it would be, number 1, let's see if I can do this with my finger.
Yeah, nice. Well done.
Yeah, there we go. Wow. What does this mean? All of our VxRail 14G V series, including our recent released 15G V series platforms, are now NVIDIA certified. And what sweetens the pot? that they're all available with the latest and greatest NVIDIA GPUs like the A100, the A40, and the A30. Number two, or two, go.
Two.
This week
Can we do
at
two?
VMworld,
There we go.
this week at VMworld, we announced the Dell Technologies Validated Design for AI. This is a design guide deploying NVIDIA AI Enterprise with VxRail, PowerScale, and PowerSwitch. Think of this as like a reference architecture that provides deployment guidelines and performance characterization, when you're running AI workloads, especially using NVIDIA AI Enterprise on VxRail, running vSphere with Tanzu. And finally, number three. There we go.
See?
Let's
Three.
pretend I
I
actually
can do it.
use the fingers very well.
There we go.
Earlier
How about
this
this?
month,
Right?
yeah, there
There
we
you
go.
go. You could do it that way. All right. I got three.
Earlier this month, we introduced VxRail dynamic nodes as a new use case for providing administrators flexibility when choosing how to deploy primary storage with VxRail. If you didn't see the announcement, you should totally check it out, or you can come find us after this chat. We'll be
Okay.
happy to talk
Got a
about
little audio issue. Ash, can you hear me?
it. Yeah, can
Maybe
you-
try reset your audio. Just go mute and unmute.
what now?
It should clear it. Yeah, great. Thanks. Folks, these things happen.
Okay. So again, if you didn't see the announcement of the VxRail dynamic nodes, we'll absolutely love to share with you after this at some of the conversation stations. But VxRail dynamic nodes are compute-only nodes, which when connected to a Dell EMC storage array for primary storage, it just really highlights another way that we're enabling VxRail to be used anywhere in the data center. And bonus, it can also be used to deploy NVIDIA AI Enterprise as well. David, to answer your original question, it's been an extremely exciting year so far. Not only have we delivered on a ton of items, a ton of new features this year with VxRail, we have a jam-packed roadmap through the rest of this year as well into the next year, and you'll continue to see VxRail integrations and continued partnership with NVIDIA.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, a lot of great stuff. John, welcome to the stage and welcome to the Converged User Group meeting. It's great to have you here. It's great to have NVIDIA participating. Lots of announcements that Ash teed up further conversation, but from your perspective, what did you guys see? Why this? Why now? What's going on? Weigh in from the NVIDIA and the John Finelli perspective, please.
Sure. Thanks again for having me. Just appreciate if everyone could give me a show of hands so I know you can hear me. I don't get to go on stage very much, so I'm going to take this opportunity to get your hands in the air. Right? That's pretty cool.
Nice.
So,
Look at
so
that.
thanks for joining us here. And I think I'm in my room at home yelling because I feel like I need to project to the audience.
I know,
So I
right?
hope everybody's okay. So the work that NVIDIA is doing with VMware and Dell is extremely exciting and important. And one of the things that's really cool so far about today is I can kind of shoot each of you using the A button to see who you are. So I see, of course, a lot of Dell and VMware and NVIDIA employees, but I see a lot of customers. And I'm glad you're here to learn a little bit about it. NVIDIA is known, of course, for graphics, but more recently for artificial intelligence or AI. And many customers don't actually know what that means. Everybody knows they want to do AI, but they don't know how to get started. So what we're really working on with NVIDIA AI Enterprise and Dell is really about how we democratize AI. So we're seeing AI being used everywhere in the enterprise, whether it's HR or sales, marketing, customer service is a great one. Everybody loves chatbots, huh? Yeah, those are great. They're getting better, right? And so there's a lot of use cases for it, but it can be complicated and it can be hard. So what we're really trying to do is to simplify it, right, for general enterprise use, right? A lot of AI is based on open source technology. A lot of AI is run on bare metal servers that don't really fit into the core data center paradigm or many of your enterprise architectures. And in many cases, customers aren't quite aware of how they should create a server, right? How many CPU cores versus the GPU they're purchasing. And so again, NVIDIA, VMware, and Dell, we're really looking to simplify this, right? And the way we're simplifying it is we're delivering a software suite called NVIDIA AI Enterprise that is optimized, certified, and supported on top of vSphere and on top of NVIDIA certified servers. And as Ash mentioned, it's now even Dell validated. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. I actually read the Dell validated guide last night. And it made sense to me, and I was able to comprehend it. So it was pretty cool. It's only like 19 pages. You guys should definitely check it out, right? But the whole idea
Nice light reading.
is, yeah, it actually wasn't too bad. And
Nighttime
the whole
reading.
idea is that the stack is designed to support both the data scientist needs in the enterprise, but also the IT admin and the core data center. Sometimes those two things don't always line up, right? So real briefly, there's three parts to the partnership and what we're doing, right? So it starts at the core, the hardware, right? So we have an NVIDIA certified program so that we do the hard work with Dell, with VMware, so that you don't have to. So we certify systems, right? So including obviously the Dell PowerEdge, right? We certify them with VMware vSphere with Tanzu, right? And this starts with VMware vSphere 7 Update 2. And as you roll into Update 3, and then the and on top of NVIDIA is delivering fully supported AI technology, NVIDIA AI Enterprise. And this provides an And then the last piece that I'll throw out here before I turn it over, because I know you are tired of hearing about me, you want to hear from Maurizio, right? Is the first question we get when people say you're virtualizing AI is, does it perform? And we are delivering near bare metal performance. And also, to further simplify it, right? NVIDIA has a program called Jumpstart, right? And so with Jumpstart, we're able to come to you as a customer and give you 2 weeks of support directly from the product team to enable you to get your system installed, get it up and running, help you read the validated design guide, and make sure that you get value immediately within the 2 weeks that you get it. So, so please, I'm looking forward to catching up with some of you folks whenever we're allowed to do that. And without,
Absolutely.
do I go back to you then, Dave, before Maurizio?
Well, you can, or you could just ask Maurizio what he thinks of it. But either way,
All right,
we've
Maurizio,
gotten.
give me a fist
Let's
bump.
do the fist bump.
I'm going to pass it to you. You're on.
There we go. Fantastic. Maurizio,
Nice.
ciao. Let's see. Maurizio, we need you to speak. So if you could speak so we can hear
Can
you.
you hear me now?
Now
Yes.
I can hear you. Fantastic.
Okay.
All right. CTO of University of Pisa, you're doing some really neat things. What do you think about all this?
It's wonderful. It's wonderful because you can imagine, first of all, thanks for the invitation, the possibility
Absolutely.
to share our experience. So we started as a sort of blank page for this experience. You can imagine everything came out with the COVID-19 pandemic emergency that our university has to face. Of course, we already ran a lot of AI workloads on bare metal in our data centers. We have plenty of bare metal platforms from Dell Technologies, from NVIDIA and so on. But in parallel, we had a quite significant VMware Sphere installation that typically was dedicated to enterprise workloads or VDI. And you can imagine how VDI experience helped us a lot during the starting on the pandemic experience to do workstation or remote classrooms or whatever you can think. we certainly we couldn't stop the research part. So we started around 1 year ago to migrate some of our HPC workload on the virtualized platform, integrating a lot of new piece of hardware that were available. So we started integrating power storage, power scale storage, DPUs, network interfaces from NVIDIA. And last but not least, we have the opportunity to pioneer the NVIDIA AI Enterprise offering to understand how to running in parallel environment installation. And we received, you can imagine, we had no guidelines at the time. So we received a strong support, either for NVIDIA guys and friends, or from Dell Technologies guys, but help us a lot integrating all the parts. So you can imagine, we did a sort of laboratory activity integrating NVIDIA A100 cards, DPUs, software pieces, how to integrate inside VMware, and so on, and was quite an incredible experience in the positive sense of incredible, as you can imagine. We are in love with technologies. Who knows us knows that we are typically quite famous to pioneer new kind of technology, to put pieces together before the announcements of new product. Of course, a lot of activities is done by hand. We didn't have a VxRail software to automatize a lot of things, or we did a lot of works by hand. But the experience was quite surprising because, okay, from a design point of view, okay, we have a sort of blank platform where we can design solutions. We did it for HPC. We can do the same for AI. So yep. AI VMs, all the features of the sphere and so on. But you go to the researcher, and the researcher say, okay, is everything okay? But the performance, how much we lose in performance using NVIDIA AI Enterprise? And surprisingly, we didn't lose all four, of course, for the internal developed AI workloads, the performance was almost so on this infrastructure was almost if you think about losing 1%, is acceptable for the sake of the flexibility that we have. Think about what we can do. We could do without going physically inside the data center because everything was closed. So everything could be provisioned, configured, and run by remote, and with no loss of performance. So at the end of the day, the experience was incredible. It was really incredible in the sense of how much we gain from this experience. And of course, it was not a sort of exercise of R&D. Something that is here to stay in the sense that we are putting everything in production legally, how can I say, legally licensed. No more
the licenses.
License. So we are moving to production with legally acquired license because the university have decided to go for a dual-fold AI offering, either bare metal. We will continue to invest in bare metal systems like the DGX or the XC series, the technologies, but in parallel, we will go on investing in the virtual platform. At this point, is something that we can leave.
That's fantastic. And as you go forward and you expand this out, Ash, it's going to be a lot easier for him and his team to expand this now, isn't it? With the VxRail plus NVIDIA, NVIDIA,
Absolutely.
and
To leverage all of the existing management orchestration capabilities that he highlighted that simplify the deployment experience, simplify how he scales his AI workloads.
And the
it's
best
awesome.
part is, as the AI software continues to evolve, the subscription to NVIDIA AI Enterprise, you're going to get updates every quarter. So you're going to get the latest AI technology, and you're going to be able to use it in a supported fashion, right? From both NVIDIA, Dell, and VMware.
It's fantastic.
If you take an account the fact that it's a quite similar experience of what you do for NGC containers, everything is kept up to date. So is the same experience. It's true. The idea of the democratizing AI, because setting up a working AI environment is not complicated. It's time consuming. This
Yes.
is something that you have to keep updated, because keep not only updated, versioned, because you have people that needs different version of the workflow running together, but because everything is sort of home developed, and this experience of having everything integrating and updated is a lot of help from an administrative point of view.
Yes. Quoting one of my favorite commercials,
Fantastic.
we work hard so you don't have to.
Yep. I love it. I love it. Great. Maurizio, thank you so much for sharing with us in kind of setting the stage for further conversation on and Ash. Um, we're really looking forward to getting you back here. We're gonna extend an invitation, Maurizio. We're gonna bring you back in 6 months to hear how things have gone for you, and hopefully you'll have some VxRail deployments added to your mix by that point, and we can do like get more before and after feedback from you to share. Thank you guys so much. This is great. We are at, let's see here, the bottom of the hour. We are going to break shortly for exploring VR, but before we do, let's do this carefully on the stage. Stand up so that you can separate from your physical chair. Yep, there you go. Everybody can stretch, get their arms out. Fantastic. What we've got now, and Ash, you're welcome to stay on the stage, or you can go and get pre-positioned outside if you want, or enjoy the buffet in the backstage. We have a great opportunity, and I'll ask Ed to work his way up here, please. We've got not only the folks in the room, but we've got folks out there on the Zoom, and I believe we have two of these full VR headsets to give away to two lucky customers out on the Zoom. John, Maurizio, as new guests to the Converge user group, you guys could be so kind as to do the Oscars honor. We are working to get you names of the customers, and Ed's coming up in a second. Ed's going to help out with that, and then Ed's going to give you all a little bit of a brief as to how we can go explore VR more. But John, there's in the audience hats, those are the NVIDIA SMEs. We also have folks, Bill Leslie, raise your hand over there. You're dressed in perfect Dell blue. So blue hats are Dell Technologies SMEs. We've got conversation stations set up throughout the outside of the auditoriums in the lounge, where you can meet with these SMEs and you can meet with customers like Maurizio and have conversations. That's really VR shines. So I would encourage that shortly. Ed, are we good on the names?
So I'm gonna go ahead and just say that I want to kind of give everybody a little bit of an overview, and then I think Ann from Converged, along with Kelly, they're working on pulling the name so we can make the announcements.
Okay.
So while they're gathering that and getting that information to us, I just want to kind of walk through what you guys are going to be doing afterwards, after we wrap up here. So
Come
first
on
of
up.
all, first of all,
come on up. I'll give you
Okay.
you've got this spot where
All right.
Ash vacated. Thanks, Ash. There you go.
all right,
Deal.
very good. Okay, thank you very much. So I just want to say thank you to everybody for participating and being here. Kudos to all of you. And one of the things I'd love to do, especially for the folks that are up here presenting. So if everybody from both instances can go ahead and light up some emojis on behalf of the fact that they stepped up and did this. Maurizio, all the way from Italy. I mean, look at these. So hopefully you guys can see how much everybody appreciates all the work and effort you guys have put
Thank
into this. You too, John. Really appreciate it for NVIDIA stepping up, and of course Dave over here, the MC, doing a remarkable job. So what I would say is that what we're going to do is have you guys break out and go back to those conversation stations and go ahead
Okay.
and get to know a little bit more about the experiences and that sort of thing. Um, Make sure you look around while you're doing that. There is a hidden scavenger hunt that's part of this experience, and it's actually built into the conversation stations, just so you guys know. So the way this works is if you look around the room, as a matter of fact, I can see one of the letters in this room right now. For anybody who's already found the letter that's in this room, go ahead and give me some emojis, because some of you have got to see it. I could tell. I'll bet you Joe is seeing it over there. There's one emoji right. There's another one. There's another one. All right, so that's one of the letters. The word that this makes up is a word that's very appropriate for today. I'm not going to necessarily tell you what it is, but I will give you a hint. It has to do with advancing into the future. Okay, that'll be my hint. If you want to see more letters and be able to participate in this, just go to the conversation stations. And while you're there chatting and talking about your interests in VxRail and some of these other incredible organizations, NVIDIA, make sure that you look around, and if you happen to notice a letter, keep sight of that. Okay, and if you add up all the letters, okay, if you kind of, as you're going around and ask some of the folks from our team or from the Dell Technologies and NVIDIA team, we'll go ahead and let you guys know how many letters it is, and we'll give you some hints as we're going throughout this time period. But ultimately, there's a word that if you get it, the winner not only gets bragging rights, but you're going to get a $125 gift card to Amazon. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and give that out right after the event. But on that note, my suggestion, Dave, is while they're processing the names and all that fun stuff, Zoom, let's let everybody go ahead and
Sure.
get out to the conversation stations, have some fun, and then we'll connect up and go from there. Also, I do want to
That's
say this to the
fantastic.
speakers, if that's okay,
Yes.
real quick, Dave. Promise I'll shut up in a minute. But for the speakers, okay, if you guys don't mind hanging out here for a few, the Zoom folks are going to do a kind of one-on-one interview with you guys, so we can get a chance to talk a little bit more. So if anybody wants to hear that, you're certainly welcome to hang out. But otherwise, we're going to have the speakers do some talking with the chats from the folks from Zoom. Okay, does that work for you guys?
Sounds good.
And Ed, we're going to do that in the green room,
Yes.
right? So we don't broadcast to everybody.
Yep, we're going to
Okay,
go ahead and do
perfect.
that in the green room. That way, everybody else can go ahead and have fun checking out the conversation stations. And like I said, looking for that word that if you guys can guess it, you guys are going to be able to have some fun. Now, there are some names that I'm seeing come through, but again, do you want to do those now, Dave, or do you want to do those? I was kind of thinking we could do that as part of the interview process. That way, we can let these guys fly.
Perfect. Let's let everybody
Okay,
explore.
awesome.
And if you're in here in VR, you already have a headset. So yes, we'll do that for the Zoom folks. That's fantastic. All right.
All right.
Thank you, everybody in the auditorium. It's really weird getting used to these double instances. I will be out and mingling soon, along with our customer Maurizio, and our Dell Technology speaker Ash, and our NVIDIA speaker John. So please, and it looks like some of the NVIDIA folks don't have the green hats, but green somewhere on them mostly. Go out and explore, meet new people, have conversations, and enjoy. We'll see you soon. Thank you for this.
Thank you.
Right, John, awesome job. Awesome job. Great, Maurizio, fantastic. Ash, fantastic. Let's go backstage, and here comes the Zoom. So we'll go backstage, and we can do a little interview.
Okay, this
Hey
way.
guys, let me give you a quick heads up. Just want to, we may be swapping this out. If we can have just one moment, we're going to be swapping out our cameraman, I believe. So if you can give me just a second, we'll let
I don't
you
know
know.
about you guys, but I've crashed through the wall, and this is pretty disconcerting looking down here. I I don't know if you can see me, but
You're
I
stuck
can
halfway to
go.
the wall. Yeah, you are.
I can, I'm gonna get away from that. That was weird.
You're
Hey,
going to the
how's
wall.
the Zoom going? All right, fantastic. Josh, where are you? Do you want to come over here? No, you can't speak. Okay, that's fine. Welcome everybody, and thank you for joining. Ash McCarty from Dell Technologies here, the VxRail expert. John Finelli from NVIDIA here, the NVIDIA expert, and Maurizio Davini from the University of Pisa is backing away. So we'll get that squared away. And it looks like our roving reporter might be having some audio issues. We'll see if we can work that.
I'm
But
good
what
now,
I'll
Dave.
do-
Can you hear me?
I got you now. Fantastic. Okay.
Cool.
Why don't you come into the mix, Josh? We've got the camera right there. I will get out
Sure.
of the way, and you can work with Shelly. What are the folks on on the Zoom? What have they been asking? What are they interested in hearing more about?
You know what it is? Ed did it. He's the one who did it first.
Okay, I'm not hearing Shelly or Josh.
I'm just going to ask
Okay.
on the Zoom feed if anybody has any
All right,
questions.
Shelley.
while
So
we-
yeah, while we're waiting
Ellie,
for questions to come in,
we do have a couple
Ash,
questions in the
guys,
Q&A.
thank you so much for being here today.
Okay.
John, Maurizio, all the way from Italy. This is like amazing to me that we're all in different places and yet we're all sitting here in the same room. Shelley,
Yes,
yeah,
got you,
what's
Shelley.
going on?
Yeah.
Great.
Awesome.
Fire away.
I'm going to get out of the way here so that the experts can sit together.
Shelly,
Okay.
can you see those questions in the chat or do you need me
Shelley,
to
what's the
read them
first
to
question
you?
from our Zoom audience?
Can you please read them to me? Ann?
Sure, they're in the Q&A. There's one
Got
saying,
it.
I just installed my first VxRail. What's the coolest new feature I should be aware of?
Got it. Okay.
Coolest new
We-
feature, brand new. Ash, you want to take this
Yeah,
one?
absolutely. Yeah, so we kind of highlighted a little bit. We just announced 2 weeks ago about the VxRail dynamic nodes and the new with the new 7.0.240 VxRail release. So the dynamic nodes are a new use case that allow you to flexibly attach different storage types. So traditionally, it's been all vSAN HCI. Now you can attach primary storage coming from a Dell EMC storage array or a vSAN HCI mesh remote data store. Tremendously new use case expansion. Some other things we've done in that release that kind of their key would be our VLCM integration. So it expands the underlying capabilities of our already beloved lifecycle management. So now we can do additional use cases with lifecycle management.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay, Shelly, do you see that other question there?
Yes, I do. I'm going to relay that question right now.
Great. So the next question for everybody on the Zoom was, will VR meeting capability always look so game-like, or will it become something more like real-life meetings?
So the question is about, kind of what we're looking at here in the virtual reality in this space. Okay.
I can answer.
Okay, John, I see you raising your hand.
Sure. So I think it's kind of fun today in VR, right? And I think here we all have our avatars, and we're all looking kind of model-esque and movie star-like, and all of that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I do think that
Thanks, John.
we're going to continue to evolve and see VR become more of a standard work meeting place. And one of the announcements at VMworld this week is NVIDIA and VMware are introducing cloud VR and cloud XR, right? So it can be augmented reality as well as virtual reality. So you'll be able to sit at your desk and still see your pencil and things because it's augmented, but you'll be at your desk will appear to be in a room with everybody else, no matter where they are.
Sounds a little bit like the telepresence systems that I've seen, for video conferencing.
Yeah, I think that's probably true, but cooler and better.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I left that part out. Definitely cooler.
Yeah.
So you guys can see when
Okay,
I
so any more
ask
questions?
the question in Zoom, I'm in Allspace VR. I'm going to mute my Zoom as they will not be able to hear me in Allspace VR. So I see another question pop up. I'm going to relay that question over to Josh. That question is, will there be a way for employees to bring BYOD VR devices and access private business apps?
Okay. Hi. Okay, that one's going a little over my head. Ash,
Yeah.
John.
So again, I think what we're going to see today, VR is going to expand. It's going to be able to include, for example, virtual desktop infrastructure. So you can run, as I mentioned, NVIDIA's Cloud XR runs inside our virtual workstation technology. So you will be able to kind of come in on a VDI type environment and have access to your apps. Now, of course, those apps will want to have, some extensions to fit into a VR world where they make sense, right? So that I can, lift up my phone and do things on my phone if I need to do that, right? Or if I'm, typing on my computer, maybe I want to do the Minority Report thing, right? Where I'm flipping through things.
Nice reference.
Probably dated.
Oh, works for me. I thought a good reference. Oh, good.
Okay, I'm going to ask the next question now. The question is, game-like looks will be very hard to talk to C-level executives and actually be taken seriously. Oh, I think this is a comment.
Yep. So again, sorry for answering all the questions, but in a ton of work, we see combining AI and graphics, right? So we have a thing called face to face, right? Which actually allows you to create your avatar that matches your face, and it syncs what you're saying, your expressions. If you're furrowing your brow while you're thinking, you're smiling when somebody says a joke, right? This is all part of the metaverse, right? So you may be aware that NVIDIA has a product called NVIDIA Omniverse, right? And that allows you to create these metaverses, and that's how the future of work is going to be, right? In terms of not only meetings, we're also doing virtual factories, right? So one of the cool things is while a factory's being built, you can go into that factory in VR, and you can get used to that factory, and you can set up and train all your robots in VR, so that when you build the factory, you basically turn the switch on and it's working.
Excellent.
Sounds amazing.
I'm going to ask the next question.
So the next question I believe Shelley's asking is, will VR and AR be integrated inside the VxRail solution for training VR and AR for operation?
I can take that. Yeah. So
Thanks, Ash.
you can see so you can see how we talked to how prolific VDI workloads are on for VxRail today, and we're expanding that even further in-depth integration with AI workloads with the NVIDIA AI Enterprise. As we continue our partnership with NVIDIA, as we move forward with a launch of some of the new solutions that John highlighted, there's going to be a tremendous amount of future integration on the roadmap where we continue to evolve and empower customers to run these different solutions on their infrastructure. And the beautiful thing is, when you use VxRail infrastructure, you get all these automated management orchestration capabilities that simplify an administrator's ability to deploy and manage those overarching workloads and solutions.
Okay, thanks, Ash. Shelley, while you're filling that question, I just want to check in with you guys. You need to be at conversation stations. I don't want to pull you away for too long for the from networking.
Well, I would like to go out and, to some customers, but if we're talking to customers over Zoom, customer is a customer, so I'm happy to continue either way.
I'm going to ask
Okay,
the
good
next
enough. Just checking
question.
in.
This next question that Shelley's asking is around, what do you think an VR event would look like in a couple years from now? What ways do you think the audio, video, interactivity, and other aspects of the experience will evolve for end users?
Well, again, there's going to be a lot of advancements in everything in terms of software, hardware, and networking connectivity. Right? I would expect that you'll see, the headsets and the devices get much smaller. My headset has an option that you don't actually need to hold the handset. Like it can track just your hand, so you can move hands without actually holding a device. So you're going to see a lot of this is going to be AI enhanced in terms of being able to understand it and see what's going on. Think of computer vision, but in virtual reality.
Mhm.
And to add to that, I think if you kind of look at the environment we're in, it just you have the headsets driving your personal experience, but then you have the environment we're in that's built and has a back end infrastructure that needs to be driven to generate all the interactions that we're having. So I think when you look at the infrastructure in the future of where that's going, you're going to need high performance computing, high performance networking, as well as the GPUs to support rendering all this environment.
Sure, and I would assume the audio and video quality, any latency that we're experiencing today, will all be improved a couple of years from now.
I think yes, you'll see definitely improvements, but as all things, I think we all see this with TVs, right? At what was 720p today is now 1080p is now 4K, right? So the expectations are go up and up. Where, as John talked about, more things getting in real time, it's just going to increase the demands of the underlying infrastructure, and that's where we need to be there to scale and demand and to meet those demands as they grow.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Great questions, everyone. I think Shelley's just wrapping up with our speakers here.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
guys,
Thanks,
thanks a
everyone.
lot.
Hey, Shelley,
Great
before
to.
we let
Wouldn't have
everybody
a question
go,
for you, but I'm sure you're going to get besieged out there on the main floor.
and real quick, before we let everybody go, did you guys get the announcement of the winners for the Quest 2s in Zoom?
No.
No, not yet.
Okay, I was gonna say if you wanted to go ahead, I was gonna say I'm gonna guess they're probably itching to find out. So, what I would say is if you want to let these guys go ahead, you can either hang out here for a couple minutes while we do that, or if you guys want to head back to the conversation stations, that's fine. Either way, but what I could do is I can go ahead and share at least one. I think if I'm getting permission now, I think I can actually share both names on the Zoom feed.
Okay,
Okay,
everybody
so why don't
ready?
we do that? We'll let these guys, you guys can hang out, or like I said, if you want to hang back, whatever works for you. I'm gonna go ahead and the names are coming in as we speak. So if you give me just a second, I'm gonna go ahead and read those off. All right. So it appears that for the next event that we're hosting, that two individuals are gonna be able to join us in their Quest 2 headsets, the brand new Quest 2 headsets. Uh, Doug Bartley and Nikki Barnes. So Doug Bartley and Nikki Barnes, who are hanging out in Zoom with us today. You guys are both getting yourselves brand new Quest 2s. They're going to be sent off to you. We'll follow up with you afterwards. We have an email. We'll get you all the information, shipping address, all that good stuff. So congratulations from inside All Space VR.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Absolutely. Okay?
Congratulations.
And that's courtesy from all of our friends, like Maurizio at the University of Pisa, and of course NVIDIA, Dell Technologies, VMware, and all those help make this possible. Really appreciate it to all of you helping come join us in Zoom. Hopefully you're having a really great time and you're getting your questions answered. So thanks again.
Okay,
Thanks,
thanks,
guys.
Thank
Ed.
I
you.
won't slow you down. I know, Josh, you're planning on doing some roving reporter stuff. So, and you guys, amazing job in VR. Unbelievable. Seriously. John, really appreciate your time. Ritzio as well. Ash, you guys are just amazing. Thank you.
Great. So conversation
guys.
stations,
Appreciate
they're
your
out and to the left, kind of.
Yep. If you want to follow me, we can show you right where they are, John.
Hi, Josh. We have a question
Hi.
another question from the Zoom. We can see if we can answer that, and then we'll show everybody around the space a little bit.
Okay, I'll do my best. I'm out of subject matter experts, but let's see
No
what we
worries.
got.
I think it would be best if we can go and explore the space and actually find them at conversation stations to see, so everybody can see how it looks like. So
Okay, let's start. Let's start at the top of the auditorium so you and I don't lose each other, and then we'll start exploring from there.
sounds good. Let me relay the question to you so you can, so you
Okay.
know who would be the best person to ask. Okay. So the question is, could you see VR evolving into the ability to view hardware systems to test and diagnose problems?
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Let's go exploring for that one. I think John probably of the folks we had here before. I think John would have been the best person to answer that one. So
Oh,
we'll take a
okay.
look around who's available.
Okay,
And I'll
we'll
meet you at the
find.
top of the auditorium. We'll go from there.
Sounds good. This is the backstage, everybody. We are in the backstage right now. We are going to go out. This teleport. We'll go out to the stage. This is the NVIDIA auditorium. You can find the little cheat sheets for the speakers. And there's Josh. Hi, Josh.
Hi. I didn't mean to turn my back on you in the audience. Let's keep exploring. We're gonna leave the auditorium and head into the I guess I could call the play area.
Sounds good.
Okay.
You can see that Josh
So
is
somehow-
teleporting. Go ahead, Josh.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, the space has actually two auditoriums that we just came out of Auditorium East. We'll keep on heading into the space here.
Auditorium East.
Okay, she's still with me?
Yes.
Okay, we have one of our floating holograms here,
No, it's
and
So there's some neat stuff in exploring.
in the event yesterday we saw a floating VxRail at a New Belgium brewery bar, so that was pretty interesting. It looks like a NVIDIA product there.
nice. This looks like the NVIDIA GPU.
Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
Just cruising around. Nobody's here in our
Okay,
lounge.
hey, John, it's a surrendipity question on Zoom. I'm hoping you can help us answer. You might come on over?
Oh, where do you want me to go?
Thanks.
Back to the back room,
Okay,
or
Shelley, could you repeat that question?
Sure, we could do it right here. The question is, could you see VR evolving into the ability to view hardware systems to test and diagnose problems?
My headset's almost dead.
So I think what you'll be able to do effectively is, think of it as like sort of scanning the hardware, and then it rendering and representing itself, right? So you'll have to have something on this, where the physical hardware is to basically scan it in. But I think you'll be able to do that, and then somebody, kind of look in your phone today, right? You do FaceTime and you show your phone to somebody. If you put your camera on something, you can have a discussion.
That part of it.
We'll do something very similar, right? Where your phone is the scanning device. I don't mean to make it so
touch here,
formal,
not
right? You
there.
just use your phone, and then it can pull things into VR.
Okay, cool. Thanks, John.
Kind of. And you both pick up. Can we sort of
Thank
pull
you.
off you?
Okay, and then
Okay.
it's 10 o'clock now, so I'm gonna go ahead and
So this
head
could be a
out
kind
if
of
that's
walkthrough
okay.
either.
I don't know. I don't see a ton of people still hanging around.
You can teleport onto it.
Okay. Cool. No, again, we appreciate the time, John. Hope you had some fun
Yeah, this
hanging
was
out here in
awesome.
VR
Thanks
with
for
us.
having me.
Sure.
Right.
Awesome.
Shall I
We're
just want
going
to point out to the audience,
Yeah, go
our
ahead.
Zoom folks,
Just teleported
when
up
they
there.
do join in on events like this, they're hearing
my
Ed and
gosh.
others talking about the scavenger hunt that's going
You're
on.
so
tall.
I can see a letter L right over here to my right, left. That's part of the
Oh, it's your
scavenger hunt
top of
that
the
people are
table.
running around looking for these letters hidden around the space. There's an R on the sign behind you. I don't know if you can make that out or not if you look around, but the back of this, the right over there, you can see the R.
All right. So if the individuals in Zoom want to take a note of that, and if you see any letter that's on the screen, or you can even tell me to like look up or down, and we can go find all the letters and see if we can create the word.
Is Hellstar standing on my
Okay,
head?
sounds good.
No, he's standing
Let's
down
see.
behind you on the wall. You're sort of inside each other at the moment.
Like, I
Okay,
can hear
so we
voices
have
around me, so
L.
I'm just making sure I don't run into anybody.
Okay.
Are there any other questions, or did we want to keep exploring a little bit?
We do not have any other questions. We can explore a little bit.
Okay.
Let's see the.
Right, let's. We're gonna kind of go around this corner. Auditorium North is to our right. We're gonna go past that, and there's like a little mini stage over here, and some basketball.
Can you pick this monster one up?
I can see somebody said
Hey, everybody,
under the
you can hear my
table, C
voice,
behind the
'cause I need to
chair.
fly out into
Yes.
space. I just want to let you know we're going to actually collapse the two
That's a C.
instances
Oh,
right now.
and
So
there's
what's going to happen is we
a
have two separate
T
instances
under the
going.
table.
But
Good
once we get
job,
to a
guys.
certain number, we have the
I'm going to
option
follow
of collapsing
Josh.
them into one. So that's going to allow us to bring the two instances together. So you can continue your conversations and everything, but you're going to notice there'll be a reset, basically, scenario where all of a sudden everybody's going to come into one spot. So what's great about this is some of the folks who you haven't been able
So
to
you
meet
can
before,
hear
you're
Ed
going to get
talking
a
about
chance to meet
instances.
now. Okay.
Instances
Now, at the same
basically
time,
like
this is something where
think of it
we are
as
kind of
um,
stretching the
being
bounds
on
of
Zoom where
this
you can
environment
only
because it's a new
see
feature.
a couple
That
of
being said,
people
I
and
did
you
check
can't
with the
see the
powers that be, and they
others.
said based on the time, let's go for it.
We
Okay,
can
so
see
hang with us
half the
for a
people
minute,
that are here
and we're
right
gonna go ahead
now.
and do that.
And
So I'm giving a shout out to my team. Go ahead and reset the instances in the
when they
next 2 or 3
reset,
minutes.
we'll be
Okay.
able to see the
Again,
other
feel
half
free to
as well.
continue your conversations, guys. Thank you.
Hey, Ed, wait.
Going to find Josh.
Hey, Nancy, how are you?
Hello, Josh. Oops.
And we're going to extend the experience for an extra 10 or 15 minutes just for
Hi,
those who want
Nancy.
to participate. For those who have to jump, that's okay
Hi,
too.
how are you?
Just to let you know.
Good. You're live
Nancy,
on
this is
Zoom
Shelly,
right
and she
now.
has our Zoom audience with her.
Oh, you're bringing the Zoom audience? Hi.
Yes.
That's
So, Nancy,
you know.
I don't mean to put you on the spot. If you can just just formally introduce yourself,
Good. Are you
what you do at Dell Technologies, that kind of thing, that'd be great.
Yeah, Sunny Minnesota.
I'm sitting
Sure.
down, so I
Okay.
can't
Fine. I'm
say anything
Nancy
with
Hurley.
one
I
side
am
of the audio,
our
but
senior
that's
manager of
crashing
product
into something
marketing
in the
for
room.
our hyperconverged and converged infrastructure portfolio. So, we're really excited about this partnership with NVIDIA and VxRail, and then of course with our
I'm
overall
dedicated to
solutions
research,
group.
so
So.
basically,
Whoops, it seems like we have been removed from the event. We are going to re-enter. This was the refreshing part that it was talking about. You just re-enter and everybody comes back into one space. So now we'll be able to see the other half of the room with the same one. You'll see a lot of people coming in at the same time.
Hello, Carlos.
Back in business.
I think we're back. We're back in
I am
business.
back to business, guys.
Gonna go find
So I
Josh.
think we should. Have you tried the basketball? Just when you thought it was weird.
Hello, Josh.
Doing the
No,
basketball.
Yeah, I know. I didn't try it. Let me try it.
We can just so you know, we cannot hear you. So you might be on mute.
Oh, thank you. Sorry about that. I was removed from the space, and then I got brought back in as part of that merging of instances. So I'm back now, and sorry, we seem to have lost Nancy somewhere along the way in there. So I
Yep.
apologize.
No worries. We can see a lot more people in here now.
Hi, Josh.
Oh, we found it.
Hey,
Nancy.
Nancy's back. Sorry, Nancy.
Well, all of a sudden I was talking and I'm like, oh, I'm in a completely different reality.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
So,
real life, right? You got to go find each other.
well, there's definitely that. Although in real life, when other people join a room, they're not generally right on top of you. I was like, well, they're both like right at the same place. So it's an interesting experience.
Yep.
So we're still chatting with the folks on Zoom.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I guess
I think
they're in mid sentence.
I think in mid sentence, I was just talking about how excited we are about the NVIDIA, partnership and the opportunities that we have with AI. And I don't know if everyone in the audience, attended the session and heard about all of the announcements that we have, but I think this is going to be, really powerful for customers. No question.
Absolutely, there's a lot of really interesting things shared there, and it's always great to have a customer like Maurizio from University of Pisa. So that was good stuff.
Oh, I know. I love when the customers give such great testimonials. It's like, that speaks for itself. People, I get that I'm in marketing and, not everybody wants to hear from us. They want to hear from the customers, and
Right.
Sarah, how you doing?
that's the best testimonial.
Yeah, and University of Pisa has been I know a Dell Technologies customer for several years. They're doing so many interesting and different things, and I think a lot of customers can learn from their experiences as well.
Well, yeah, and I think one of the things that he said was, they really on the cutting edge and doing a lot on their own, and in kind of having to customize. And he even said that's before we had the VxRail automation. So the idea of now you get in the infrastructure that can take care of a lot of the stuff that your team was doing prior, and just automate that gives them the opportunity to now go and do additional, more strategic type stuff and managing the infrastructure. So that was one of my favorite parts of what he spoke to.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Okay, well, great, Nancy. I don't want to hold you up here.
Yeah, no worries.
We'll let
I
you go
have to
explore the
wonder,
space.
though.
Maybe have a virtual beverage over here.
Oh yeah, I'll go. I think I'll go play basketball again.
Smart. Have fun.
Hi.
Bye. So Josh, I was wondering
how
if
you
we
doing?
can just walk through the individuals in Zoom and show them around the space a little bit. This bar looks amazing. Can we get a close up?
Sure.
Who are you?
All right.
You're with, are you with
Yeah.
Fox? Is that what I see?
I'm just amazed by the level of detail that you can actually make out the names on the taps and
How do you
these
like
different
this?
bottles and things. So again, yesterday we had an event with New Belgium Brewing in the tasting room. So that was some really cool stuff there.
Quite nice.
It's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is funny. Shelley, you still with me? Can you see this image over here? So here's New Belgium.
The only thing is the standing up.
This is from a previous event. I don't think this is from yesterday, but this is from another auditorium.
I'm afraid
Similar to the one we were in just a little while ago, and this is like kind of a group selfie from a previous Converge user group event.
That's very exciting. That's great. I think this is from the May 5 DTW event.
There you go. Much better that way.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
Yeah, that's true.
Excellent.
I think if I
and just amazing, people are definitely having some fun in designing these spaces.
Teleport is a good
You
option.
work for?
Teleporting. My brain is still not understanding
Let's
what's
let's
happening.
head over here toward the far wall over here for a moment, okay?
Sure.
Moving what not move.
And what do you think of the presentation and the?
Well, maybe we'll
So,
find one more person. Go ahead.
Thinking something that's interesting.
Well, I can find Mr. Justin Jones. He happens to be standing right here. I'm going to put him on the spot. Justin, can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Yeah, what's up?
Cool. I love the hat, by the way. Very rakish.
Thank you. I don't know what rakish means, but I feel like that's a hip thing.
It's kind of old school and hip at the same time. Justin, this is Shelley, and she has with her our Zoom attendees. So they're joining our VR via Zoom. And if you don't mind, we can just chat for a couple of minutes for their benefit. And if you want to start, you can look over at Shelley if you can kind of introduce yourself and what you do here at Dell Technologies.
Awesome. So Shaylee's got the camera, right? Yeah. I can't.
You got it.
Okay. All right. Hey, my name is Justin Jones. I'm with the Dell Technologies product marketing team. I get specifically to work on VxRail. So we talk a lot about what our product management team is working to bring into VxRail, the new technologies, the new value, the new features, and all that sort of thing. So this week specifically, here at Dell Technologies, VMworld, I was talking about the what's new with VxRail. So what are we going to be announcing? And just a quick hint that you're going to hear some pretty cool announcements next week at Dell Tech Summit when we start talking even more about what VxRail is going to be able to do at the edge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so folks may not recognize him here with his avatar, but Justin was one of our featured speakers at VMworld. Was it yesterday or the day before, Justin?
It was yesterday morning. Yeah, we got to have a conversation with about 40 attendees. It was a little intimate, so they got to ask questions of myself and of our product management team. And we got in there and got a little nitty gritty into some of the details and a little bit of the hardware and software.
Okay. Any quick highlights you can share with us from that conversation?
Like I said, the big thing is what we're going to be doing at the edge. And I would absolutely say be on the lookout next week. If you attended yesterday's Converged session, you heard Shannon kind of allude to it, and I'll allude to it again. There's going to be some cool announcements next week, some press releases talking about what we're going to be doing at the edge, and not just with VxRail, but with a number of other solutions too.
Okay, great, Justin. Thanks. Just really quick, tell us a little bit about, if you can, because since NVIDIA's here, we're partnering up with them today. I know that that's a relatively new feature, right? NVIDIA going into VxRail. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So we've been, GPUs in VxRail is something we've been doing for quite a while, and we've been knocking out, a lot of those VDI workloads and other GPU intensive workloads. But what we're really trying to do to take advantage of those NVIDIA GPUs, and not just the GPUs themselves, but the software around it. So as you heard in our chat there, our fireside chat, we've got VxRail as the first certified HCI system with NVIDIA. We've introduced the NVIDIA AI enterprise software to make it even easier to, for data scientists to come together with IT teams and offer those virtualized GPU services to anybody they need to within their teams. And then finally, this week, we're announcing a specific solution combined with our scale storage and one of our software. I forget the software that we're working with, but all of that's coming together to offer a NVIDIA AI solution based on VxRail as well.
Okay. All sounds good. Thanks, Justin.
Thank you. Have a great time.
Okay.
Thanks.
Catch you later. Go have fun. Go explore the space.
Yeah, I'm gonna go shoot some baskets.
I think you should. Nancy's over there, the last I heard. So.
All right.
All right. I guess we're at time here. We're a little bit over time.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for hanging on with us. Josh, if you want to wrap us up, we'll go from there.
Sure, Shelly. Yeah. Again, folks. All this through Zoom. Get yourselves a headset and join us here in VR for our next event. And on behalf of everybody here at Dell Technologies, VMware, NVIDIA, thanks for joining us here this afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you, Josh. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Shelley. Appreciate all your help guiding us around the environment. So please thank everybody in VR for us. And thank you, everybody who's still, you're on the Zoom still. So I'm impressed. I know we went a little bit over time. So thank you. We hope you enjoyed this, front row seat to AltSpace VR and the program, hearing all the new updates with NVIDIA and Dell Technologies, and hearing from Maurizio from the University of Pisa. We appreciate your time and we look forward to seeing you at a future Converged user group event soon. Have a wonderful afternoon or evening wherever you are, and be on the lookout for a survey from our team. Anyone who completes the survey will be in a drawing to win another prize. Even though we already gave out some great prizes today, we have more. So be on the lookout for that, as well as future events. Thank you again for all of your time. Have a great rest of VMworld, and we will see you again soon. Thank you.